Recording is on. Yeah, the reason I'm actually really interested about this is because I actually talked about Pyromancer's attitude on his last meltdown, and actually, like some of the comments were also pretty much on point. And it's like how he's being, like first of all, he shouldn't be coming onto the stream with a bad attitude. But even then, it's like in the stream you should be showing like your your best authentic self, right? And it's like it's fine if you have meltdowns, but at the same time, he also needs to differentiate himself from being the guy who has meltdowns every few months over some dumb shit. Okay, and even though the WoW meltdown was kind of like expected, it wasn't like something that was like, you know, something worthy of his mental damage. Basically, it's like emotional damage. Emotional damage. It wasn't worth it. So I do want to see like him improve as a person overall, and I want to see him like relax a bit and have more fun, and like being more accepting of um, people's talk points. Also being a bit more how should I say? It's like kind of like more neutral into like when people say stuff and being withdrawn from the emotion that comes with that with those statements, and noticing if it's a troll, if they're doing it on purpose to piss him off, or if it's a legit fucking sentence. Because like if he's in a bad fucking head state, he will start losing it, and once he starts losing it, the chat will eat him alive, and that's actually what happened in this last meltdown. So yeah, so I do want to see this. I do want to see what he's saying. And again, this is Pyromancer, and he himself is sick of his own attitude.
And we'll get that going, and we'll go ahead and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pyromancer here, and welcome.
I love it. It's like he has this whole like I get it. It's kind of like take a breather, whatever, and it's like get into the character, get into it's not really a character, it is him, but get into like your stream zone or like the video recording zone. I still don't have that. I'm just like kind of like testing the water, so I'm all over the place. Sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm like that, and I need to like find my own like this is like this is recording mode. What's up? This is Framinthor. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. I need to work on that, but for now, I am who I am.
To my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world.
That is what he used to
And
say, right?
I
Maybe he
feel
still
like
says it.
it's time to make a video addressing some of the issues that I've had.
Again, I still believe he should post the newest meltdown. It's free. It's free revenue, man. It's free money. It's free publicity, and it's like, yeah, you're not happy about it, you're kind of embarrassed, but honestly, man, being able to make fun of yourself is honestly probably one of the joys in life.
Um, Recently, and some of the long-term issues that have been going on,
Mm.
and kind of give some explanations of kind of what's been going on in my head and some of the other things that are going on maybe that people don't know about. If you're just coming to this video and you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, basically, I just if you've seen my content before, you've probably seen how passionate I can get about things. I had
Yeah,
a one of my lower
passionate.
moments on Twitch back in early May, early this month,
Best
a few weeks
moments.
ago.
One of your best
Moments that I'm not
moments,
proud of, and
but you're
some
not proud
things
of it. Yeah.
that I said that I want to address today. Um, just one of those situations where I just really was not doing well at controlling my reaction to people in the chat.
Yeah.
Some of those people were egging me on and trying to get a rise out of me, and some of those
I just noticed the mask on his sweater.
people weren't. And some people got caught in the crossfire, and so I just want to talk about all that stuff today. So,
Look, for the people who get caught in the crossfire, honestly, get over it. Like, if you're offended by anything that Pyromancer said while he was in the heat of the moment and just raging at the world, get over it. Also, don't be mad when a streamer says something that you don't like. Just go to a different streamer, some shit like that. Like, don't take anything personal. You'll have an easier life.
so um, I would like
Unless, like again, don't take anything personal that is stated in a broad sense. If someone is like talking shit to you directly, I mean, you can take it personally. It depends on the situation. But it's like if it's a broad statement, it's like Twitch chat sucks ass, and you're in the Twitch chat at the moment. It doesn't mean you yourself suck ass. It's the chat as a whole. You're just unfortunately in it. Collateral damage.
like to say first off that I'm not going to give you a bunch of excuses. Okay, you guys have heard me mention before that I have ADHD.
Sure.
It is something that is a constant battle. Okay,
Yeah.
it is not an excuse to be an asshole to people. It absolutely is not.
This happens.
And I'm at a point in my life where it's time for me to get some fucking control over it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's time to just be an adult and just get a grip on this thing.
Yeah. You
And I
are.
definitely don't think that's the reason for everything. Absolutely not.
Oh no
And I
no.
think I've definitely got some anger problems that I think are
Mm-hmm.
emphasized by some of the other issues that
Should
are
be a
involved.
comedian. Apparently, they all have
You know,
anger
I've
issues.
got other stressors in life, just like everybody else. You know, I'm actually getting married soon. So
Buddy, fucking congrats, man. Good job. First, he moved. Yeah, I mean, it was coming, right? It's like he moved in with his girl. He quit his job to be a full-time streamer. Like, not in that order. It was he quit his job to be a full-time streamer. Then he moved in with his girl. Yeah, probably proposed at that at some point there.
that's
Good for him.
that's a huge stressor. It's exciting, but it's a stressor. But
100%.
honestly, I want to get through this not because I want to, not because I think that well, it's apology video time and everything will be better. Because I certainly understand that's not.
I honestly don't think anyone should make apology videos unless like you did something like so fucking bad. And even then, it's not like you did something bad to the people in the chat. Like, okay, let's say you said something like, super racist, right? It's like, I'm making this video to apologize to all the people that I hurt. Yeah, okay, bro. Like, totally believable. It's like, it's fine. Honestly, move on, keep working, and with the money, donate to a charity or some shit like that. Like, I don't know. Like, the apologies really mean nothing. It's like, there are too many apologies too often and too many fuck ups. At this point, it's like, don't even bother. Just be like a brief, like, hey guys, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Let's have a good stream. Fuck it.
Not the case,
Just
but
fucking go.
I want to do this because I think it's a good way for me to move forward. And I think that
True.
it's
You can
just
also look back at this.
I legitimately just I'm at a point now where I've had it. I've just had it with I've had it with my own outbursts. Like I've had it with my own issues. Like I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of the repeating cycles of me
Yeah.
getting just way too upset about shit that just probably doesn't really even matter that much, and having bad takes that maybe generalize groups of people like console players, God forbid, right? Like I just
Fuck them.
make some dumb sweeping statements.
Fuck them console players,
And
man.
so I want to just say
Losers.
that
Can't even
I take
control a
full
mouse.
responsibility for that. I'm not here for the cop out. I'm not here for the excuse.
Nothing to
Um,
cop out. Nothing to
but
excuse.
there's all
PC gamers are better. That's how it
there's some
is.
other levels to this, right? Like there's forums even still where people have found personal information of mine and of my
That's
family members,
that's that's not good.
my brother and other people,
Yeah.
like my parents. That information.
Yeah, obviously, like, don't do that shit. Like that. Like, how offended do you need to be to actually look for that information over of some guy? Like, who? Like, why? What does his family have to do with it? Did he fucking rape your mom or some shit? No. Why are you looking for his family? You want to call his mom and tell him what a naughty boy he has been? Like, what the fuck?
Is floating around about us out there, and that scares the fuck out of me. So let me provide some additional context to what happened that day. So basically, we were streaming. We just found out that I'd found out before stream that they were going to start cracking down pretty hard on
Add-ons.
plugins in Final Fantasy. Now I
Yeah.
come from World of Warcraft, so plugins and add-ons were kind of an inherent thing. It was very common in WoW. It was accepted. It was made against the TOS. So that's like the main
It wasn't accepted. It was mandatory, and the devs support it with all their heart. So for you to have add-ons because you can't play the game without it.
thing, right? In this game, it's against the TOS, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And I was upset about that. Don't get me wrong, but I made the mistake of,
Fair
and
enough.
I just don't know why I did this, of streaming with my add-ons, with my plugins anyway, as though it was gonna make some kind of statement or something.
Yeah, 100% ego at play. Could have easily not even turned them off. Could have just like put on the capture game rather than capture window.
Or it would, I don't know what effect I thought it would have, but I turned off anything that would give me any type of like advantage in the game, and I only had plugins that were changing like chat bubbles or
Yeah,
like uh changing the skin on my UI, right? Like still against TOS. It's altering game files, period. It's
and everyone knows you're not gonna get banned for it.
against TOS, right? And so I put myself, out there doing that in a very that's a dumb thing to do. And at the time, I don't think that I really understood the gravity of the intensity of the people that were on the other side of it. And so I'd like to clarify. There's a group of people that I don't think represents the Final Fantasy community, to be honest with you, and I didn't think that
100%.
these kinds of people that existed in WoW really represented the WoW community.
No, they're the shitters. They might be playing Final Fantasy, they might be playing WoW, but they're just shit disturbers. That's all it is, and they are the ones who started with him. It might have been the first person who was actually concerned that he would get banned, and told him like, "Hey, man, don't don't use add-ons. You'll probably get banned. They're banning streamers." But the people who kept going were probably shitters, and the people who kept going after he was pissed off were 100% shitters. And maybe they're Final Fantasy players. They're not necessarily part of the Final Fantasy community, as they say. But yeah, he got caught in that. And again, honestly, he would. I am 99% sure he would not get banned for the add-ons he used. Any add-ons he used for advantage were turned off, and like he had like again like only like some plugins that are like minor and like UI-ish, and he probably got pissed off. People telling him that he would get banned for it. Honestly, I sometimes understand. Sometimes I would be so um not obsessed. What is it? So righteous in my own cause. I was like, if they ban me for this, fuck them. I'm not even gonna play this game ever again. Are you fucking kidding me? Banning me for chat bubbles? You know what? Fuck this game. And it's like be really egomaniac about it. Like I'm like I am right and the devs are wrong, right? And it's like who are you fighting with, bro? What are you doing? Like I can totally relate. I get it. I can get in those moods a lot. It's like where I have to prove a point for some odd reason. And yeah, and he chose the add-ons instead of just like hide the add-ons on the stream and that's it.
Either, so I like to say that as well. There's a very small group of people that are like evil. And you might think I'm like toxic and that I have anger problems and
I
that I
won't call them
talk too much and
evil,
sometimes
but they
and
just want to piss you
I would
off.
agree with you. You're right. But like these are people that will like try to find your address, try to find your phone number,
Okay,
send you
the doxers,
shit in the mail and like try to harm you and like try to do insane shit. So
they're not evil. They're just fucking batshit crazy. I don't know if they're gonna like go with like all out, but yeah, of course there are people like that.
you get these people mixed in with these groups that are rallying against streamers and coming at streamers and
Yeah,
and basically mass reporting streamers.
yeah.
So I was being more made aware of how insane that was, right? I'm in the middle of my stream and I get sent pictures from two different forums of posts being made about me right as we speak. So then people started to come to the stream, and in a stream that actually started pretty damn well. The
Usually how
stream
it
that was
is.
pretty great ended up turning into a scenario where there was some frustration on my behalf regarding a discussion that I was having with my chat about add-ons and console players and all that. And that's a different discussion, one that I actually would love to have because I think I'd like to share some of my thoughts on.
There's nothing to share, bro. PC has an advantage over console. Keys are more accessible. You don't have to like roll through 3 or 4 different bars. And PC has plugins that you can't get on the console, which again gives the PC an advantage over the UI. Again, if the Final Fantasy fixes the UI, so you don't need those, and you can make them the default, and it's not going to be a plugin, it's going to be part of the game. That's fine. But until that day, which would never come, yeah, PC will always have the advantage. I mean, people who say that console is better are simply subjectively, objectively, and inactively wrong. PC has a massive advantage in all terms of content. Is it still doable on console? Yes. if you take the same player, put him on PC, put him on console, going from zero, he would do way better on PC, a lot faster than he would on console, even if he's used to both of them about the same. Okay, PC has an advantage. There's no argument about that. If you think console is better, good for you. I hope your bubble doesn't blow up at any point, and that's it. And I'm not talking about is it more comfortable to play on a console because you can watch your 72-inch TV and sit on the couch 20 meters back and just play the game and chill after work. I'm not talking about comfortability in real life. I'm talking about accessibility and how well you can play the game.
That now that I have a little more context personally. But I
Which, by the way, with PC, you can still play on a controller 20 meters away on a 72-inch TV. Okay, like PC has controller enabled. It's not that big of a deal.
I also had these other people coming into the stream and definitely antagonizing me. And the problem is that like
Once you keep going,
that's not
that's
a
it.
good excuse. Like
It's
that's just
not,
not a good excuse.
but that
It
is
doesn't
what it is.
matter that I was in an argument. It doesn't matter that I was heated. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter that these people were doing this to me. The
yeah.
fact of the matter is that I chose to respond in a certain kind of way, which was a way that makes people not want to be on the stream.
You chose to be a dude, bro. Chose to be a dude. Your ego got the best of you. You didn't walk away from the situation. You decided to confront it, and you got fucked for it. Whether you were wrong, whether you were right, didn't matter. You're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. Don't fight. Like if 3 people are attacking you, you run. I don't care how good of an MMA fighter you are. If there's 20 people coming at you with belts and like with bats, you better fucking run, because you might take down a few of them, but is it worth it? Nope.
Like flat out. And I can play the the bigger than life content creator and try to tell you that I don't care about losing follows, but of course I care about losing
Of
follows.
course everyone
It's all a
cares,
numbers
bro.
game, man. Of course I care. And I've
It's
just
your
been
fuck.
losing follows every single day, and I'm just
Yeah, you were. But I would say that's not the reason. I wouldn't say that the meltdown was the reason. I would say it's because you need to determine what kind of streamer you are. I'm not a pro at this, trust me. Like I have 0 followers really. It's like I have 14, but it's like it's closer to zero. No one watches my stream. But like you need to determine what you are. In my opinion, you are the lore guy, the take notes guy, the one who's like really immersed in the story. If you're going to do any content outside of it, a lot of your followers are not going to stay and watch. A lot of them will leave because they know you as such, right? It's like as much as you love Final Fantasy, I get it, but it's like you are not doing anything that other streamers are not doing. It's like if people want to see an ultimate, they go see Xeno, they go see all our hearts. If people want to see I don't know like weird shit, they go to Zepla. I don't know actually know what Zepla streams, but it's like it's whatever. It is what it is, right? It's like yes, you go for the personality of the person, but this is why also like Haru doesn't have a lot of followers. Haru got to like 500 viewers all the way from like 80 or something because like basically Asmongold put people on the map and like Lulu streams became a thing, and that gave a lot of streamers a lot of fucking followers, and you had to differentiate yourself from the other streamers at that point. You were kind of lucky and kind of unlucky because you were doing the MSQ, and the MSQ was a real good eye catcher. You needed to decide once the MSQ was coming to an end, like before that, what your next streams are gonna be like. You gotta make a plan, man. You can't just be like me doing whatever the fuck because I have no followers, so like everything goes. You have to determine what you wanna do with your streams, and it's like if you like this is the thing like Asmongold is probably the best example of like successful streamer. He says he plays Final Fantasy, WoW, whatever. He really doesn't. He barely plays any game. The only game he was playing was like the Vampire Survivors game because like there's a lot of like React content and it's like he can really like overreact and stuff, which is like kind of funny sometimes. And like he just has like a massive following. But it's like if you look at all of his streams, a 10-hour stream consists of like 8 hours of just talking to his chat, checking Reddit, checking, reacting to videos, and then 2 hours, maybe if you're lucky, he gets to play something, right? Or if he's playing something, he's like chatting with McConnell, which is also funny. But it's like you don't have a McConnell to chat with, and again, I think that's a very unique thing to Asmongold. But yeah, it's like you gotta determine what differentiates you. And again, I think you are the story guy, and I think you need to find more games with immersive story and just like fucking dive into that and like take notes and talk about that shit and react to like stuff like that if you want to play video games. If not, man, like Final Fantasy is gonna be really hard in my opinion to like make relevant, especially when all of these streamers who got big during the Asmon Gold wave of Final Fantasy are not as big anymore. Some of them stayed decent, but they're not that big. And again, the ones who stayed decent are the ones who differentiated themselves, right? Zepla differentiated herself. She's basically the female Asmongold at this point, really, for Final Fantasy. She's trying to do Glamma competitions, right? A lot of like social events, stuff like that, houses and stuff like that. Arthurs and Xenosis Vex are the guys you go to for raids and ultimates, right? And like rotations and like damage and stuff like that. Um, as far as like the more viewed channels. Obviously, there are others that are like better than them. Sphia is mainly known because of Rich Campbell, right? Rich Campbell, in my opinion, mainly known because of Asmongold, right? It's like I can't really say what Rich is really known for. He has a cool story. I'm sure he's a cool dude, but it's like I don't know what he's really known for except from doing Allcraft with Asmongold, and that kind of got him more and more to where he's at. Obviously, he's running what's called OTK and all that stuff. I get it, but all I'm saying is, as a streamer, I don't really know what his content is. A bit of perverted stuff, making fun of weird shit, and overreacting emotionally to the story, and then getting carried by Sphia in his raids. Right? It's like everyone has their own like niche, right? It's like what are you? You know, Pyro, what are
I was
you?
sitting there thinking, like, you know what, man? Like, I really think that there were some people that helped spread this to places where it shouldn't have gone. But you know what? Like, this is my fault. And so I think at the end of it, when I step back and I look, I think what I have to remember is that there's just people that they might not even ever chat, dude. They might not ever type anything in the
Yeah, I
chat
never do.
ever, but they see me interacting with other people,
Yeah.
and whether it's justified or not, no matter what the context is, that anger that can be portrayed is not something that makes them comfortable. It's something that makes them want to go somewhere else.
Actually made me want to rewatch it, if I'm honest. Yeah, some people probably left because of it. But I guarantee a lot of people stayed because of it and they're waiting for the next meltdown.
And I think, I think I've known that for a while, but I don't think that I really
Internalized it?
understood until I started reading some of the actual comments that people were making. And it's a real tough game, when you're trying to
Slap. Reality slap, brother.
self-reflect and analyze and be better. And you've also got people that are giving their critiques and stuff, and some of them are very, very valid. Some of them are very valid, dude. Honestly, some of them are not, but it's hard to sift through that. It's fucking tough for me to sit and try to not let that shit get to me, as you can imagine. But I went to
Do what you always do, man. Take notes, I don't know, make an Excel sheet of like common complaints and see what they are. I don't know. If you really care about it, if it really bothers you, man, you gotta like just generalize them into like criteria and see where you can improve if it really bothers you.
and read some, and there was comments about, like, how people felt like it was a recurring thing, and they're right. They're
It is. It is because they came because of the WoW meltdown and they stayed and hoped for another meltdown.
right, man. It has been a recurring thing. It's been a recurring thing of
And he had mini outbursts. He did have mini outbursts during MSQ when people were talking to him about his note taking stuff like that. Yes, but he'd never had like a meltdown. So everyone was always like poking at him, trying to get a reaction. Yes, 100%.
Me just fucking, I get, channel gets bigger. It happened in WoW in a similar fashion. Channel
Yeah,
gets bigger, more attention
yeah,
goes on me.
yeah.
I fucking suck at handling it properly. I blow up.
This is the thing. It's like when I was a server, and it's like, and like I was working with other servers. Sorry, I was a bartender, whatever. Bartender's the server, and like you had the servers who were really upset about like low tips and shit like that. I never looked at the tips I got. Sometimes I did, but I never let it get to me. It's like, okay, he tipped $1 on like a $30 bill. Okay, well, fucking whatever. Next, like next, it's like, don't let this shit get to you. Same with like the followers. 9,000 followers, 1,000 followers, a lot of people chatting, no one is chatting. Bro, just do you. If it works, go with it. If it doesn't, see where you can improve, and then go with that. Okay, try different things, but like you can't let that actually, like you can't let it stress you out. Don't think about it. 100,000 views, 300,000 views, 10,000 views, 1,000, 100. It doesn't matter. I would say the only thing that matters in those views is when you have less people, you can probably pay more attention to chat and talk to people directly. When you have too many, you have to be able to like pinpoint something that someone wrote and address that, and like make a conversation with that and change the conversation around the chat. It's a slightly different game, I think. I know, again, I'm not there. I don't know if I'll ever be, but it's like I think that's what how you should react to these numbers.
I start getting negative attention. It's just, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of how it makes other people feel.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely mean that. Like, again, reading through some of the YouTube comments, there were people that were like, "Hey, I gave him like a couple chances, and I came back, and he was still just always so angry and this
Fuck
and
Ben,
this and
man.
that, and I just fucking I feel bad, but not for myself. I just feel bad that that's the kind of like experience that I created for someone else. Like that. Mean
You did, but you didn't, bro. Like I don't think you did. It's like people. Okay, let's do this. If someone's experience of the stream is that bad that they're like super negative and shit like that, and that's all they'll ever be, you banning them is already a favor for them. It's not even just a favor for you, it's a favor for them. And you don't need to feel like you failed somebody. You're not here to help anyone. First of all, you're here because you like it and it makes you money. That's number one. Like, let's be real here for a second. It makes you money and you enjoy it. If you didn't enjoy it and didn't make you money, you wouldn't be here. Okay?
Meanwhile, all the while, like being preachy about like, oh, the things that I've learned from Final Fantasy and how it's taught me all these things, but then I don't exemplify those things in moments where it
I mean, just because you learn them doesn't mean you're a fucking master, okay? You're like a fucking novice. Whatever.
matters. So it's like,
You're not the actual warrior of light, Pyro. You're not omnipotent. We all have moments of weakness. It's fine. Not a big deal.
it's hypocritical and it makes me sound just like an ass. So
Yeah, goodness, yeah, it's not
I know, man. I know.
hypocritical,
I
kind
know.
of,
I'm aware of it,
maybe.
and I'm not trying to make excuses. I would like to touch on just one other thing that I see.
Pyro is trying to be zen. Like, nothing can bother me. Deflect the negative energy. Deflect negative energy. Negative energy away. Ain't gonna happen.
Mentioned people saying that I use my disorder as a shield or as an excuse. Um,
Yes and no. I mean, you can't tell people it's like I have ADHD and whatever, and it's like it can affect my mood or something. But you can't keep saying it whenever it affects your mood. Like, does that make sense? Because like it feels like you are making an excuse out of it, obviously, but it doesn't feel authentic anymore. It's like people can even question your ADHD at that point because like, well, like just blames it on some random shit at this point, right? It's like I don't know about that part, but it's like it doesn't matter. Look, everyone gets angry. Everyone has bad moods, man. You need to learn to just like get yourself away from that situation. Literally, when he had the meltdown, there was a moment when he stood up because he needed to like take a small breath and like re-engage. Dude, that moment he stood up, he was he had only one real choice that would have solved this whole thing. Leave the room, drink some water, take some air. Don't see the chat, nothing. Then come back, you'll see new messages, and everything that was already said is gone. And a lot of people in the chat would also calm down because of it, unless they start fighting amongst themselves, which can be funny for you. But like he stood up, he stood up, he's like, oh, okay, you know what? Okay, listen here, punk. Listen here, you motherfucker. You know? Like that's not what you wanna do, okay? It's like kind of like you go to a club or to a bar and like someone starts a fight, like starts like asking you like, okay, all right, I see how it is, and then you go in. It's the most obvious thing you can do, right? You just like you stand there stoic and then you punch, boom, right away. That's it. That's what you should do. Don't fucking show your emotions. But again, aside from like bar fighting tips, you stand up, walk away. No one will chase you. It's a chat, okay?
Man, those comments, I have to be honest, they really hurt. They do hurt because
100%.
it is something that
I
affects
agree.
my life in every single day, every moment of every day. Like my disorder is affecting me.
Sure.
But again, I say that not as an excuse, but just to let you know, I guess, where my mind state is at when some of these things happen. And it's not an excuse. Again, it's not an excuse. We take it on the nose, we take it on the chin. It just is, it is what it is. But I don't feel that I've ever used it as a shield or used it as an excuse. And there will be people that comment, maybe even on this video, that say that what I'm doing right now is using it as a shield. And
To an extent, you
I
are,
don't
but
know
you're
what else I
just
can say
explaining it.
besides I disagree with that. I know it's not an excuse.
All you gotta say is, look, I have ADHD, but I have a, but like, okay, let me think about how to say it. I have ADHD, but it's only one of my problems. That's not all of them. That's
There's
it.
something that
And it's not a shield anymore. That's it. It's like it's just like it's a fraction of the shield, you know? Your shield is made of a lot of different things, and ADHD is just one of them.
I'm very serious about working on. I mean, I'm getting books to help to figure this the fuck out because antidepressants and whatever else has not worked thus far. So
Pills is your last resort, man. Straight up. Understanding the condition, in my opinion, is way better than just the pills. It's like pills are just so bad for you.
I've got to get into some behavioral changes and
There's also like physical exercise you can do, meditations, stretches, stuff like that that can like, you know, if your body is smoother, your brain is smoother kind of thing. But again, I'm not saying it works for everybody, but you gotta find what works for you. All these books can either help him or can mean jack shit. It's like ADHD is not like that simple of an issue in my opinion. But pills was definitely not probably like should not have been his first solution. And I hope it wasn't.
I've got to really get on top of this. And I mean to. I mean to. And I want to say that, for everyone that has stuck with me through the poor behavior and the good, I really appreciate you. And for everyone that I've scared off or put a bad taste in your mouth, I'm really sorry that I gave you that experience. That's not what I want my stream to be. That's not who I want to be as a person. And it is a battle that I have not won. And I don't know if it's a battle that can be won or if it's just one where you need to learn to I got to learn to just get the edge and keep the edge, and not falter and just not falter. Um because I think I can make great content. You guys say awesome things, man. Like I see in some of the comments, even in some of the ones that are more harsh, I see people saying things like, Pyro has some great reactions. I actually really loved his content and when he went through MSQ, but because
Yeah,
of his attitude when he finished MSQ, I just didn't really want to watch anymore.
yeah,
And that just fucking sucks because
but
we all
it's true.
know that there's going to be a dip after MSQ. But to hear
Yes,
people say like, "No, I didn't stop because it was MSQ was over. I just stopped because like his reactions to MSQ weren't there anymore, so it couldn't outweigh like some of the shitty attitude."
but it's true.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna on my stream. I have been trying very diligently and to be patient um, and to give people an opportunity to explain what they mean by things instead of just exploding at someone in chat and just trying to be a person that people actually want to watch and want to hang out with. Because look, at the end of the day, if I end up if this all crumbles and
I think like mostly it's like a person they want to hang out with. I think that's like probably like the most thing. Because as far as I understand from Twitch, again, I'm no expert obviously, but it feels like because this is why I can't watch Twitch. Like I don't understand. I don't understand it. If it's like I knew the streamer personally and like we were actually like hanging out and whatever, and then go on Discord and chill while the chat is talking, that's one thing. But like being a part of the chat and talking to the streamer and hopefully he sees my message, it's like it feels like you're in a loud environment. Like when you have a streamer that has like a decent amount of views, like when you go to like the streams like 10 20 views, you can actually get like decent conversation, you can ask questions, you have a conversation going, that's fine. Like but it's like the 10,000 1,000 10,000 views when like the chat is moving, right? It's like standing in a party super loud and you're just saying like something and nobody can hear it, or maybe the person right next to you heard it but the DJ didn't hear you. DJ in this term is the streamer, if that escaped anyone. And it's like you have to keep saying it, and you say it 4 or 5 times, and then you're asked by the bouncer to stop, to like leave. You're timed out because you're spamming. You just keep saying the same thing. But it's like, but he didn't hear me yet. Well, the mods did. The security, right? Like that's what it feels like. I don't know. Like I understand the 10,000 person view. So in the 10,000 person view, I feel like it's more of a show. When the less of the views, the more interaction. The more views, the more of a show it is.
fails, like I'm still gonna play Final Fantasy.
It's like a show with like live chat that you sometimes talked.
And I think that, you know, the friends and experiences that I had at that point would be the most important thing. So that's what I want to focus on.
Yeah,
And I just don't want to be giving negative experiences to a community that otherwise, especially on Twitch, is represented by a bunch of super fucking awesome people. And speaking of super awesome people, I think it's been taken a bit out
generates.
of context that I said I hate the FF community or I hate the FF community today or whatever. I'd like to clarify when I made that comment, you know, I think that was more about I hate that this is happening, that people are brigading add-on usage, and I hate the FF community in this way right now. But I just don't think either way. I don't think that
The one we're doing, we're not
I
FF
don't hate the
community.
FF
What they
community.
say.
I just don't. I just don't. And again, like I said in the start of the video, I don't think that the people that were brigading and really doing those things, I don't really think they're true community members. I don't think they're really truly representative of what is going on, because you get people that join into that shit that don't even play 14. You know, it gets posted on a website, and then you get people that are just like, "Oh, I'm
This is
just
the
a
next
random
shitstorm.
shitlord, and I just want to like cause some havoc.
Hell
I'm just gonna
yeah, the
jump into this." So like,
shitlords
it's
unite
not
and
fair to
fight.
generalize. It's not fair to. It's not cool to make excuses. I understand all that, and I'm seriously gonna start putting in some very serious work to try to overcome it, because I just can't, regardless of Twitch or
I feel like, I mean, him putting serious work into it is fine. I'm glad that he has a catalyst that like makes him want to do it, but I feel like the way he's going about it is actually stressing him out more than it should.
YouTube or any of that stuff. I can't continue living like with whatever this is, with whatever the problem is, whatever type.
I would say honestly, I know he's diagnosed with ADHD, I get it, but like he feels more like of an obsessive compulsive disorder rather than ADHD. The way he treats games, the way he gets like emotionally attached to games, because like ADHD is like you can't really concentrate, right? That's pretty much what ADHD is. Like it's a concentration thing or something like that. Let me see. I don't remember how it was phrased. And I'm sorry for not being too educated with like what ADHD is, but like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Yeah, so you can't concentrate. Attention deficit hyperactivity, right? So you're like you always gotta like whatever, and like you can't focus on one thing. The way he's doing WoW and the way he was doing Final Fantasy, in my opinion, like fits more into an obsessive compulsive disorder than ADHD. But again, I don't know a lot about ADHD in terms of like how it can affect you in certain situations. But as far as obsessive compulsive disorder, it's like he was obsessed with WoW until WoW betrayed him, and then he was obsessed with hating WoW, and then he was obsessed with Final Fantasy. Right? It's like he goes like 120% on the subject that he's interested in, which is not the most normal thing. Like, yeah, when I'm like, right now, I really enjoy playing V Rising, right? And when I play V Rising, I'm like really into it to the point where like I don't even talk. It's like, and I'm trying to like be more like have more conversation ish, or like talk about shit while I'm playing. But with V Rising, I can't. I'm like really immersed to the game. But I don't think I'm 120. I don't know anything about the story. I don't really care about that much, and probably in a week or two it will die down a lot for me, and it's like I won't be as interested. It's like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it now. It's a new game, it's a new experience, but I'm not obsessed over it. I don't think about when I go to sleep, which is kind of what I feel like he was about WoW and about Final Fantasy.
Type of behavioral issue I've got, whatever type of like, whether it's just that I can't control my anger, whatever it is, man, I just got to get a grip. And so that's what I'm going to do.
True.
And so that's it.
I would just say just
That's
relax,
it.
man.
Um,
Relax and have fun.
yeah. I hope that maybe clears some things up and lets you know where I'm at headspace wise, and lets you
As
know just kind
expected,
of
right?
how I feel about it all, and what I really mean. And I hope that yeah, hopefully you guys understand. So I will hopefully see you on my stream, twitch.tv/pyromancer. If you're willing to give me another chance and see how I'm trying to correct this behavior, I'm done playing around. I'm done playing around. So it's time to really find a way to manage it. Because I'm 26. I'm too fucking old for this. So, or
It's a good age
however
to
you want to look
figure
at it.
out your
So,
shit.
anyways, I'll see you guys later. Till next time.
Usually, yeah. Like, so what is like the average, like the highest depression rate's like 18 to 24 or some shit like that. And then it's like after 24, 24, 27 is when you start figuring out your shit or something, and like 32 is when you figured it out, I guess, and then you start making strides towards whatever it is you figured out. And then at 44, you realize that's like your life is a mistake, and you have a crisis. And then 50, you're like, you know what, this is the best time of my life, except like you're old and everything hurts. But yeah, I think that's the stages of evolution right now. And but yeah, I hope he gets like he gets his shit sorted. I honestly think he just needs to relax a little and just enjoy himself more and enjoy the chat and just be able to like filter faster his chat and not just like pay attention to like trolls or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, wish him all the best, and yeah, that would be it for this video. Next one later.